Surely there's a reasonable explanation for this.
You could stick your reason up your arse. I told you something like this would happen. We never should have stopped bringing the offerings.
Your offerings are a blasphemy before God, and this is his punishment.
What's going on here?
As you can see, something slaughtered all these cows.
Not just something. It was that creature from hell. I saw with my own eyes how it fled back to its hole in the mine.
Give it a rest, would you?
I won't. What'll happen when that monster comes for us next?
Seems we've been fortunate running into you then, eh?
I'm Henry of Scalitz.
I'm Marion, the local priest. You look like someone who knows how to fight and isn't scared off all that easily. Just the kind of man for the job.
Tell me what happened from the beginning. What killed those cattle?
I was in my cottage when I heard such strange noises. It made my skin crawl. So I went out and saw this. And that beast what did it running away. How am I supposed to make a living now? These cows were my most treasured possessions.
What sort of strange noises did you hear? Can you describe them in some way?
It was like someone dragging chains along the ground. Neither men nor wolves make them kinds of noises. And demons carry chains so they can catch sinners with them. Everyone knows that.
And what about you? Did you hear it too?
Unfortunately, no. I was in the church when Vladimir sent for me, saying they'd found those carcasses.
You mentioned a pit of hell. Is that located somewhere around here?
That's just a local fable.
It's no fable. In the days when silver was mined here, terrible misfortune took place in the mine. A pit to hell itself opened up there.
The mine shuttering fell apart and the gallery collapsed. That's all.
Shuttering my arse! It was a pit to hell! Shuttering don't just blow up on its own. But hell didn't scare good old Father Richard, so he set off into the tunnels and struck a deal with them demons. Ever since then, we brought food to the mine for them every second Sunday, and they leave us in peace in return.
Father Richard was a crackpot. You're lucky to finally have a normal priest here now.
A priest who forbade us from bringing the offerings, and now you can both see where that's got us.
Has anyone actually looked around in the mine?
Only old Father Richard. Nobody else has ever had the courage. The very mine shaft stinks like hell itself. So we only ever lower a bucket down with the offering, and then clear off quick.
After the cave-in, the miners left to work in Grund. Seems they'd no longer felt the vein was worth the trouble here.
When did all this happen?
It's got to be at least 5 years now.
And you've been taking food there ever since?
That's right. And nothing's ever happened until now. All because our new priest here forbade us from bringing offerings.
Where's Father Richard now?
He returned to his maker not long ago. And now I preach here in his place. The moment I caught word of that foolish superstition, I put a stop to any offerings.
And you can see what that caused.
It's only happenstance. This isn't the first, nor the last time that wolves dare to venture into town.
Vladimir's right. It doesn't look like it was the work of wolves. I don't know what could have done it, but wolves don't make those kind of wounds.
You hear that, Father? And that's coming from someone who's been out and seen the world.
Tell me something about yourselves, so I know who I have the honor of speaking to.
Like I said, I'm Marion, and I come to Old Kutna to preach.
Aren't you, a bit young for a preacher?
I finished my trivium at Prague University last year, and I wanted to continue. But my father decided I'd had enough education and found me a place in the order in Sedlec. So now I implement my theological learning in this lovely county as a preacher.
I'm Vladimir, the mine foreman. I'm the eldest of everyone here, and the people actually respect me, unlike our this here preacher from Prague. And them cows were mine.
Didn't you say you saw someone running away from here?
Not someone, but something. A monster from hell itself.
Just an old wives' tale.
I swear by all that's holy, the beast ran from here straight back to the old mine.
Couldn't it have just been an animal? Maybe a wolf or a boar?
Can't you see my poor girls here? What kind of wolf would leave wounds like these? Oh, and the monster ran on 3 legs.
3 legs?
Aye, as sure as my name's Vladimir.
What did the beast look like?
I only saw it from afar. But before it got lost in the thicket, I saw its giant pointed snout.
This whole thing is very odd. How do you want me to help?
The massacre of those cattle is a horrible thing. But the heresy that's been tolerated here on account of the former priest is even worse.
Old Father Richard would chase you out of town, you stuffed frock.
Marion may be young, but he's still a priest, and he deserves a bit of respect.
Thank you, Henry. Since you're the only one here uninvolved, I'd like you to go into the old mine and discover the truth of this old wives' tale.
And while you're there, take some peace offering with you. Otherwise, I wouldn't even dare going.
What am I to do with you? All right. Henry, take their offering with you as well. You'll do just as those wretches did before you, and then wait to see if any demons show their faces or not.
Wait for demons? You want to send the poor fella to his death?
Don't listen to him, Henry. Faith in God will protect you, but before you go through the mine, we'll have a look around the village. Then we'll all meet at the entrance to the mine.
All right, I'll help you. But what about the offering?
A bit of food will do. Here you go. We always lowered the food down in a bucket. The main thing is not to go down the shaft yourself, lest you anger hell.
Don't be frightened. It's just an old shaft.
You'll find it to the west of here. The whole area's deserted and most of the entrances are blocked off. You go past the mine buildings until you reach the one that's collapsed to the ground. The mine entrance is next to it. Good luck, lad. You're going to need it.
God be with you. Careful.
I decided to atone for my sins, Father.
For you, it's a necessity. Without sincere repentance, you will head straight into the arms of Lucifer, the fallen angel.
I'd like to go now.
There is a conciliation cross between Sukdol and Rabosh. It stands there to mark the end of an old dispute over land between 2 bailiffs. Not a single drop of blood was spilled. You might be thinking, why is he sending me to a place where nothing happened? Not every dispute has to end in bloodshed. Remember that when you pray there.
What penance do I receive?
Confess your faith by repeating the creed. I hope the Lord will hear your prayers.
I'll make sure to get off on the right foot.
Remember the other one too, so that your legs can actually take you somewhere. Till we meet again.
ever do to anyone.
Quick! Gah! Quick! Ugh. It really does smell like hell here. Might there be some truth to the stories?
Oh, Jesus. What a diabolical stink. Ugh. All right then. Let's see if we can't lure the devil out.
What the... Where am I? And where did all my things go? Jesus, what the fuck is going on here?
Terribilis Deus Sanctuario Suo.
What's this? Did the knight write this? The pit to hell. And that knight is guarding it. This looks like some kind of contract. It must be important if he locked it away. The knight's been guarding this place against demons. It's written here that someone is supposed to come and take his place. But who?
Who goes there? I am the shield of gods, demon. I am Taras. Benedictus Deus! Gloria Patri! Can you see Abraham? Can you see Lazarus? Para!
Jesus. His helmet's completely stuck. I can't get it off. Ah, everything's here. All right. More entries. Also written by the knight? My God. How long has he been here? Even more entries. Christ. He went completely mad.
Henry, what happened down there?
I know this will sound strange, but a deranged knight lives down in the mine. He almost killed me, but I managed to get away. They were bringing the supplies to him, not to demons.
I told you that there would be an explanation from our world. No demons or devils.
And what if the knight himself came from hell?
Even you don't believe that. He's just an ordinary looter and parasite.
Quiet! Do you hear that?
Lord have mercy.
That's the hellish beast! It's him!
Ready yourselves, men. Henry, you too.
Shadows and flames! You brought friends, did you, Hellspawn? It matters not. I'll take you all on!
No! You've got it all wrong. I went into the mine as we agreed, and it's there that I ran into Sir Taras here. Sir Taras signed a contract with Father Richard. He was meant to guard the gateway to hell and receive regular supplies from the locals in return. When I first met him, I thought he was some kind of hellspawn. And he wanted to kill me, so I fled. I've got the contract here. See for yourself.
A contract? Well, I was sure all of this was mere heathen idolatry.
Father Richard never said nothing about a contract to no one. All he said was to provide food to keep the pit of hell quiet.
Maybe Father Richard feared you wouldn't listen otherwise. None of this, however, rights the wrongs committed by Sir Taras. Or are you looking to pardon him for slaying the cattle?
I have no need for pardons from you. I've spent years in the dark protecting you, ingrates. Meanwhile, you lot broke the promise and forgot about me. You'll pay for that!
Everyone calm down. The only crime committed here is ignorance. Apart from Father Richard and Sir Taras, no one knew of the contract. And when Father Richard died, Sir Taras was left on his own with his oath. He was kept alive by nothing but superstition and the offerings you brought to pacify hell. And when the offerings stopped, Sir Taras thought you betrayed him. And so he sought his revenge.
I had no idea.
Like I said, only ignorance is to blame. But now everything has been explained. So there's no reason to seek revenge or continue your investigation.
I won't settle for that. Fall to your knees and beg for forgiveness! I want to hear it with my own ears. You owe me that much for all the years I spent down there.
An apology? After you slaughtered our cattle?
Quiet, Vladimir. Sir Taras is right. He deserves our apology. Sir Taras, on behalf of the entire village, we ask for your forgiveness and thank you for the sacrifice you made for us. Your services are no longer needed. I'll have the mine filled in, and you'll receive all that you require. A horse, food, and supplies for the road.
So, I'm finally free. I fulfilled my oath and cleansed my soul before the eyes of God.
It's true, Sir Taras. Your sins have been washed away by your service.
Oh, thank you.
And as for you, Henry, you did even more than I asked. You've earned your reward 10 times over. Take this and go with our thanks.
And my thanks too. Lad.
My pleasure, friends. I don't think anyone's ever going to believe this story.